So I already tried to do this earlier, and I thought maybe that I should just talk into the camera and just upload whatever comes out, cause I don't want to like bullshit on name a video. And I know I and I hear a lot, but I don't edit anything out of my videos, so everything that does get put up is like unedited completely. Apart from obviously like the transitions and stuff is otherwise unedited when I do this. So a lot's happened in the last week or so. I got rather a lot more stressed and anxious than I should have done about something that isn't really all that important in the grand scheme of things, which was I had a fall, which I made like about 3 videos at least about, when I went for a walk, an impromptu walk in the woods the other Thursday, which there's a video of. And because I had a fall and I couldn't go out because my stupid ankle got sprained and kind of trapped me in the flat, which is something that I kind of do spend a lot of time at home, but I have the choice normally to be able to go out if I want to, which is what I'd done when I went for a walk in the woods. I just decided that I was going to go for a walk. So that was that, and my ankle's pretty much not hurting now or anything, so that's pretty much the update on that. But like I said, spent so much time feeling stressed and also sad. Couple of things. I know everybody's going to concentrate on the other bit of bad news that we've had in the last few hours, but I want to first talk about something else. Unfortunately, we all know that it's a awful fact of life that you're born and you live whatever life that you live, and then sadly you pass away. And I recently found out that somebody who was a lovely person who was really nice to everybody and always had a chat with people that I kind of didn't really know all that well. But unfortunately this person passed away, and I didn't know that this person was poorly in any way. I kind of put myself out of the loop a bit due to feeling uncomfortable due to the atmosphere that I felt that there was. So I haven't really been hanging around in the places that I usually do, and didn't know about any illnesses and stuff that was happening. Unfortunately, yet another person has passed away. Unfortunately, I won't be able to go to the funeral because it's going to happen while I'm away, but I'm sending my thoughts to the people that will be there. And beyond that, I'm not going to go into any more details because obviously I don't want to say who or anything. But the other news that we've had is apparently on the 20th, and it's now the early hours of the 22nd. On the 20th of July, the news came out that the lead singer of a band that is one of the bands that I happen to like. I'm not claiming to have all the back catalogue or anything like that, but I did like the music. Music is something that predominantly over everything else, over any TV show, over any film or anything like that, music has always helped me to be able to cope. And I'm one of those people that it's not all upbeat music and stuff like that that helps me cope. It's music that I can identify with, that has words that I can identify with, like I said, that speaks to me. I was going to do a whole video on how music helps people that are dealing with mental illness and stuff like that, and I did start trying to do one earlier, but the battery on my camera died, and I thought, screw it, I'm not going to do that, because I tried to do it before and completely failed to get my point across. But anybody that doesn't know yet, I don't know how you don't know, because it's been all over Twitter. It hasn't been all over Twitter as much as finding out that the next Doctor is going to be Jodie Whittaker, where everybody was going insane about, but it has been all over Twitter and a little bit on Facebook that unfortunately the lead singer of Linkin Park took his own life on the 20th of July. Mental illness is something that I have talked about in probably more videos than people care to watch. It's something that always needs to be talked about, not just in mental illness in adults, but mental illness in children. This is something that is a long-term thing for a lot of people. It's not a case of, oh, if you suddenly get ill when you hit your mid-20s or your mid-30s or later in life, whatever. It's something that a lot of people experience from being young, and there's a lot of complex issues in regards to mental illness, and unfortunately there are those that get to the point of feeling that they can't carry on. They might have exhausted all different routes that they've tried to take. They may have tried therapy, they may have tried medication. I personally don't know Chester Bennington's history in regards to what he may or may not have tried. I know that he expressed himself and how he felt in the words of his songs that he performed with Linkin Park. So this is why I identified with it, because I've had those feelings that he's had, that in the end it doesn't really matter, as he says in one of his songs, and feeling numb and all of that, and the things that I've done. Like anybody who says that to me, anybody who experiences any kind of mental illness, depression, anxiety, anything, who says that they've never identified with any of the lyrics in any songs, such as what Chester Bennington wrote, you're fooling yourself if you say that music has never touched your heart, and you've never felt anything, to be honest. But I don't want this video to be completely sad, me talking about death and depression and stuff like that. So now on to the good news. Yes, this is still going to be tied in with the fact that I'm probably going to be incredibly anxious and maybe freak out or whatever, but I'm finally going to be doing something that I put up in a video some time ago. I'd never been on an aeroplane. I have a fear of heights, and until I went on the Emirates cable cars last year when I was in London for summer in the city, I'd never really gone up high on anything. Now, I'm 37 in a few weeks, and not scared to reveal my age. Yes, I'm 37, I'm edging ever closer to 40, and there's a lot of things that I haven't done. I didn't have my GCSE English, I might still not have my GCSE English, I might not have passed it, I don't know. Until about the 24th of August, I won't know anything about that. But I've tried. I've passed some things like my peer mentoring and stuff, and I thought, if I've been brave enough to be able to do things like that, then I should be brave enough to conquer my fear of heights and go on my first ever plane ride. Well, it's not just a ride, because obviously I'll be flying to the place we're going and I'll be flying back at the end of the holiday, but it's all booked. We're going to Tenerife at the end of September. I'm going with my mum. My brother's not coming. We're not going into reasons why he's not coming, but my brother's not coming. So pretty much what's happening in the next couple of months for me is, excuse me, I'm going to London with my brother at the end of this month in a matter of days, and then I come back and I turn 37, and then we have Doncaster Pride, which is the LGBT Pride event on the 19th of August, and then I get my GCSE English results, whether I failed, passed with distinction, passed with merit, whatever. We get that on the 24th of August, and then at the end of September, on the 29th of September I believe it is, we're going to Tenerife for a week, me and my mum. It's my first ever plane ride, like I said. I've never been on a plane before. I've never gone on, like, the Ferris wheel, whatever you call it, at the fairgrounds. I've never done any of those things because I don't like heights. Obviously my fear isn't as strong as other people's fears was, but it is tied to my anxiety and stuff that I was never ever going to get on a plane. They're just tin cans that fly in the air. Obviously we know there's been plane crashes and stuff, but it's still apparently the safest form of travel over riding in a boat or a train or a car or any other vehicle, even though it's basically a tin can in the air to me. So, I mean, I'm going to be filming it, and my mum says she's going to be filming me getting on the plane as well. Apparently my eldest son doesn't believe that I'm actually going to do it, but now it's all booked and everything. That's what I wanted. I wanted it to be all booked and paid for, so I couldn't back out of it. And I'll have to go, and I'll try not to be freaking out on camera and stuff, but I wanted to share some positive news, because I know that the beginning of this video is sad news, and unfortunately people might stop watching because they'll just see sad news. So I'll try to make the title relevant so you'll know it's not all bad news, basically. But that's pretty much me. I've gone on for nearly 13 minutes now, so I'll just end the video and catch you all later. Bye bye.